Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Junior Cuts. I'm back here with another tutorial for you guys. I'm gonna jump straight into it. Today I got a mid fade for you guys with a hard part on top on a real thick, coarse, straight hair texture. Right here I already put in the bald line with my clippers, but I'm gonna go back over it with my trimmers to make it as close as possible. The next guideline I'm going to be setting in is the lever open guideline. I'm going to be going up about an inch around the whole head, but except closer to the line up portion, I'm not going to go as high. For my last guideline, I will be putting on my one guard lever open, going up that same inch that I did for the lever open with no guard, keeping it consistent all the way around the head. And I'll be going over this guideline multiple times to make sure everything's at the same length. Right here, I'm going to be putting on my 2-guard lever closed, and this won't be a guideline, but I'll be starting right under where I just left off and taking the clipper straight up, lifting off the head. And on this side, I'm just going to be demonstrating how I cut the top left side. He likes this side all cut down to one length right next to the hard part. Guard with the lever halfway to do so. And you can also use a comb to protect the hair that I'm going to use shear work on later, just so you don't get too close and cut hairs that you don't want to cut. Here I'm going to be starting the blending process, and I went ahead and put on my 1.5 guard with the lever open, and I'm going to be taking out that top line between the 1 guard lever open and the 2 guard close that I set in. I'm going to be using my corners to do so in certain areas that I got to go higher in. Right here I'm closing the lever, going back over that same area, still trying to take out that guideline. Using the 1 guard lever open, I will be going back over the same areas I did in the last 2 steps, and this will take that line all the way out. Closing the lever with that same guard, I'm going to start attacking that middle line. This won't take the line completely out, but it will soften it for the next step. Here you're gonna see me open the lever, and this is just me seeing imperfections in the blend as I'm going. So I went ahead and just took it out while I seen it, and then just jumped right back into what I was doing. Putting on my zero guard lever halfway, this should take out the middle line for the most part. If not, you can always close it up like you'll see me do here in a couple seconds. In this step, you're going to see me using my corners a lot more. This helps me out if I just need to go a little higher when I'm fading a line out. I could just use the corner and it won't take as much, and it'll just get that small portion that I need. And for the last line I'm going to take out, I'm going to start with the lever close with no guard. And I'm going to start at the very bottom with the lever close. And as I go up, keep notching the lever open until I get a smooth transition with the hair. And I'm going to do this in sections just as big as the blade is and go all the way around the head. So right before I do detail work, I just want to put this visual out there for you guys. So this representing the fade, the top of your screen being the darkest and the bottom being the skin. And when I'm doing detail work, I'm thinking about this right here, just trying to make it the smoothest transition as possible. Seeing any imperfections, I just want to get it as close to this as possible when I'm fading, going back with any guards that I used or during the fading process, and the guideline, putting in the guidelines and just going back and taking those out. And the first imperfection that I seen was closer towards the top of the head, so I went ahead and put on my 2 guard with the lever closed and started flicking out around that area. I'm going to turn the clipper to the left here because his growth pattern is pointing down towards the right, so I want to go against the grain to try to fade that out. That didn't come out completely how I wanted it to, so I went ahead and put on my 1.5 guard with the lever open and ended up closing it just to make it the smoothest fade as possible. So here's seeing more imperfections in the blend. I went ahead and put on my 1 guard with the lever halfway to try to take that out. And it's all about remembering what guards and what steps you used to try to get those small imperfections out in the blend to give it that great transition. And I'm going to be using my corners a lot during the detail process. This helps me with not taking away hair that I don't want to. Using your full blade, you might take away too much hair and you can't really put hair back on. So using the corners just gives me like a small area to work with and doesn't take off too much. And I'm always checking my mirror behind me just to see things I can't see by looking at the blend for so long. So checking your mirror always helps me see these little things I can go back and do detail work on. And I did do shear work across the top of the head, but right here I'm going to start on the vertical bar for my lineup. And YouTube, this is the finished cut. If the cut was clean, if you like the cut, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, the like button, the post notification button, and don't forget to leave a comment. Happy New Year's, guys.